From death hath passed his judgment. The soul yearns for honor, and the flesh the hereafter. Look to those who walk before, to lead those who walk after. I'm gonna be Bard because I started this journey as Bard, man. I started as Bard. The land's alive, so believe. Okay, let's start. Rising to the call, the wandering minstrel seeks an adventurer both willing and able to help put the finishing touches to this year's Rising celebrations.
Of all the coincidences, you will hardly believe it, but I was just this very moment reminiscing of the time you lent me your strength, a 12-month past. You see, I again find myself in pressing need of adventurer's aid, just as I did last Rising. Oh, if only Zordia were here, I thought to myself. And here you are. Well then, what do you say? Shall we clasp arms once more?
Sure, let's do it.
My thanks. The matter is this. I have been approached by a lady named Ayoyo, who wishes to imprint her own inimitable mark upon the skies above LIMSA LOMINSA. I speak, of course, of the fireworks that illumine... A yo-yo, yes, a yo-yo. A literal yo-yo, a yo-yo. I speak, of course, of the fireworks that illumine these rising nights. Learning of my contribution to previous years' festivities, she has enlisted me to her cause. We already have the ear of the organizing committee, however. Lady Ayoyo has expressed a strong desire to consult with a storied adventurer before finalizing her proposal. Come to the Yellow Jackets guardhouse at the base of the Coral Tower, and I will introduce you.
Do 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 do. Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't know why.
Lady Ayoyo, one storied adventurer as promised.
Oh, she cute. I am the storied adventurer.
Blessings o' the 12 upon ye. Name's Ayoyo, cannoneer first class with the Yellow Jackets. It's an honor to have you on board.
Did I mention that it is the Yellow Jackets who are in charge of this year's festivities, not only in decorating of these fair Lominsan streets, but in the designing and constructing the fireworks that brighten the skies above? Lady Ayoyo here is quite the savant in all matters incendiary and explosive, and so it has fallen to her to formulate a plan for the display's crowning glory.
Me and the other lads and lassies of the cannoneers whipped up a load of lovely little drakes, snakes, and devils for the Moonfire Fair, but more of the same ain't gonna cut it for the Rising. 'Cause it's all about remembering those we lost in the calamity, ain't it? Them and theirs deserve something a mite specialer than a bunch of old bangers.
Old bangers?
An admirable sentiment, I'm sure. It would not do for our ode to such poignant memories to be aught less than memorable. Let us make this year's Rising one that the citizens of this fair realm would not soon forget.
Took the words right out of me mouth, dearie. Thing is, having hardly set foot out of LIMSA in all me days, I don't reckon I'm best placed to know what's going through the minds of the citizens of this fair realm.
And so you would pick an adventurer's brain, one who has journeyed far and wide across this land we love, and knows it and its people intimately. Yet, before we call upon your particular wisdom, mayhap it would behoove us to seek out a wider range of opinions. Many and more look to the skies come Rising night, and the thoughts that run through their minds are no doubt as diverse. Let us learn them.
Sounds like a plan. Mind if I join you, dearie? Could do with learning some of these thoughts myself.
Sure.
Right then. Where's best to start asking around? Someplace a lot of outsiders gather, I reckon. How about we meet at the Aetherite Plaza? Down in the lower decks?
While you two are engaged, allow me to continue our discussions with the organizing committee. I shall await you by the aft castle.
You see them lights down Awker's Alley, dearie. Decorations for the festival, they are. Every year when the streets are all decked out for the rising, me heart fills with, well, all kinds of feelings. Sorrow, pride, regret. But enough about me. We came here to find out how the other folks feel about it. Let's split up and head down the alley and ask a few likely-looking customers each. We're on a schedule here, so don't go asking every single soul you see. 4 or 5 should do ye. I'll meet you down by the ferry docks when you're done.
Welcome, welcome. What may I interest you in this fine evening? Ah, information is it? Well, if you really must know, the whizzing and banging that fills the air this season always takes me back to the time just before the calamity struck. A great festival was held to celebrate the reformation of the grand companies. People in the streets were hooting and hollering and setting off fire spouts, and all the ships in the bay, now bedecked in maelstrom color, let loose their cannons. It seems so foolish now, knowing what was soon to befall us. But all that noise served a purpose nonetheless, drowning out the fear that ever whispered in our ears. It is my firm belief that the rising fireworks serve the same purpose, even now. They present a vision of loveliness, of toughness, that we might forget our fears and be given hope for a brighter future.
Sure. Alright. Sounds good.
Oh, look at the fireworks!
'Cause baby, you're a firework.
The streets are full of life, skies full of fire, and the westerly winds fill in our seafarers' sails as it does our hearts. Ah, I couldn't have picked a better time to come home. You a sailor too, are you?
I mean, I go fishing.
Helping with the fireworks, you say? Good on ye, lass. I have a few memories of back then, if you've an ear for 'em. I'm a merchant seaman, you see, always sailing hither and thither across the waves. Was just back from a trip to Rods at Hand when the calamity struck. Everyone was looking up to the sky, and that loathsome lantern that hung low in it. Like most folk, I don't remember much of what happened in the days before or after it fell, but I'll never forget those faces. And that's what I love so much about the fireworks. You see the same faces looking up, but this time with a smile. Reminds ye not only of the bad times, but how we got over 'em.
All right there, anything I can do for you? You're asking for people's thoughts on the rising fireworks. Heh, would have thought a great hero like you would have better things to do with your time, but I suppose that's what makes you a hero, eh? Helping people out whichever way you can. Well, I'm like most people, I suppose. I think of those I lost. My parents most of all. I wonder if they're watching too. Some up from the bottom of the ethereal sea to see what all the crashing and banging's about. It's complicated, I suppose. I feel sad they're gone, but happy I'm not. And grateful to Baderon saving me and so many others. If they are watching, I hope they can see me too. See that I'm doing all right for myself. That they might sleep soundly for another 12 months.
Aw. We're gonna watch the fireworks with this misty-eyed lass. Stargazer, I mean.
Sorry to bother you, dearie, but if I could be so bold, would you mind telling me what the rising means to you? Can you see them too, my love? You're involved with the fireworks and want to know what I think of them? Well, just now I was wondering if they can be seen from far out in the offing. Do you know? I see. The reason I ask is that my husband is out there now. He meant to be back by rising night, but it seems the tide didn't turn in his favor. He was so looking forward to the fireworks. I do hope that he can see them from where he is, and we can share them together no matter how far apart we might be. That is my only request to you, that you make the finale as bright and as boisterous as you can, that all those who cannot be together this rising might still share in its message. Sorry to keep you waiting, dearie. So what did you find out?
She has the carbuncle earrings. They're cute.
Same here. Was half expecting him to just like looking at pretty lights, but it seems the feeling runs a lot deeper than that. The memory of the calamity still sits heavy on their hearts, but the Horizon's fireworks go some way in lifting that weight. So any idea for the grand display? What kind of thing do you reckon to help lift those spirits the most?
Something grand and flashy, something that reminds people of the past, something that gives people hope for the future. I'm gonna go with future.
Hope for the future, eh? That ain't a bad idea. Reminding folk that however dark the night, dawn is just around the corner. The Rising ain't just about mourning those we lost after all. It's about remembering the struggles of those who've survived to steer us to a brighter future. Aye, that's it. That's what LIMSA needs this Rising. Ships, cannons, a departure salute. Not just for the fallen, but for those setting sail for unknown shores. A vision of the past and of the future. An old bleeding armada filling Galadian Bay, lighting up the very heavens. Who wouldn't want to watch that?
I want to watch it.
That's settled then. The minstrel's going to love it. He said he'd be up by the aft castle, right? I'll see you there. Let's see now. 1,500 weight of fire sand. At 500 yams from shore, reckon we're gonna need more ships?
Our intrepid adventurer returns and positively bursting with inspiration, I take it. I see. A traditional seafaring salute, not only to the memories of the fallen, but to the future fortune of those who follow in their wake. A most fitting proposal, I'm sure.
Thanks, the both of ye. But our work ain't done yet. There's a lot needs sorting out before we can put this idea into action. So much to do, so little time. If you won't mind helping us a little longer, dearie, I'd be forever in your debt. Let me know when you've got your loins good and girded.
I see, B. Yay, we get Kryl! We who are about to set sail salute you. Aww.
Right then, let's get started, shall we, dearie? The plan is we're going to line up an old fleet of ships across the bay and have 'em fire a broadside into the sky. But before we go about finding our fleet, we need to get the plan approved by the organizing committee, and that means convincing Commodore Raynor. I'll take the lead, but I ain't exactly got the silverest tongue, nor much experience nobbling with the higher-ups. If you two see me struggling, put in a word, won't ye?
Of course, milady. Our cause is yours.
Thank you, me dears. Together then, to the Coral Tower. Ooh,
Ooh, exclamation point, ooh, you're all cute.
Commodore Raynor worked his way up the ranks, all the way from rock bottom to the tippity top. He knows the workings of the thalassocracy in and out, so any flaws in our proposal, and he'll see right through 'em.
Last I had the privilege of meeting with the Commodore was around the time of the calamity. I had been arrested for conspiracy to incite rebellion. Naturally, it was all a misunderstanding. Some other scurrilous soul had been singing songs of sedition. If not for Raynor and his relentless pursuit of the truth, I might still be lingering in the brig. He's a shrewd investigator who will brook no equivocation. Shall we then? Wanting to make the Rising display special, I can fathom. But the sheer scale of this proposal is beyond anything I imagined. Ayoyo, need I remind you that the first duty of the Yellow Jackets is the keeping of the peace? Filling the bay with ships will not only disturb the daily workings of the harbor, but is sure to foment agitation among the commons. Knowing this, do you still mean to persevere with this outlandish plan?
I do, Commander. Every LIMSA art, every Eorzean art, still bears the scars of the calamity. All that loss, that hardship, that struggle, it cut deep. But the Rising ain't just about looking to the past. It's about looking to the future, too. And if it's our duty to watch over folk, keep 'em on the straight and narrow, like, I reckon it's our duty to see 'em off on another year's journey, too.
Well put. I accept that your intentions are pure. But what of the logistics? I trust you have a plan as to who will be providing and paying for this fleet of yours.
Yes, Commander. We're going to petition the Maelstrom for the flagship, and the rest from, the Black Sails.
Of course. One is wont to forget that those buccaneering souls remain bound to serve the Maelstrom in times of necessity. Lady Ioyo would have us parley with the 3 great pirate captains and remind them of their civic duty, it seems.
Aye, that's right. The pirates answered the Admiral's call back when the moon was fallen, fought and died at Carteneau, same as the rest of us. When they hear about our plan to salute all those who fell, and all those who didn't, they'll answer the call again.
I wish you all the luck in the world in recruiting those rogues to your cause. You shall need it. Very well, then, allow me to arrange the parley. Should you succeed in this feat, you may consider all of my remaining doubts answered. I bid you remember that you go to speak with pirates, lawless marauders all. I pray that you do not say aught to offend them, as we find ourselves with a mutiny on our hands. I shall have the Maelstrom summon the leaders of the 3 factions to Anchor Yard. Pray go there and complete your preparations. We are to parley with pirates. Truly, life is but a succession of unexpected events.
Cheers for sticking with me, you two. I hope I can count on your support in the next set of negotiations and all.
Of course, my lass. Alas, I fear the captains, those far-famed scourges of the seas, will prove rather less biddable partners than Commodore Reynard did. While Roswen of the Sanguine Sirens may be swayed by emotion, Carvalane of the Kraken Arms is of a much more mercenary mind. The executioners, meanwhile, value honor and glory above all else. If there is aught that unites them, it is a zealous spirit. Let us argue with passion, that we might inflame theirs.
If it is passion you're after, I've got that in bleeding bucket loads. But I might need you two to jump in again in case me tongue decides to tie itself in an half itch. Just say the first thing that comes to your heads, and I'll pick up after. Come on then, dearies, let's head on over to the Anchor Yard and get this parley started.
Get this parley started. Hey. Been a minute since I've seen these guys.
Thanks for coming. The reason we asked you here is...
Aye, the Maelstrom summons laid it out for us loud and clear. You want us to help you with the rising fireworks.
And the answer's no. When my sirens fire a broadside, it's to send our enemies to the bottom of the briny, not to paint pretty pictures in the sky for drylanders to gawp at. We've better things to be doing with our time.
'Tis a rare occurrence, to be sure, but I find that my opinion aligns with the Roswin's. Our time is precious, as I'm sure is yours. Let us hasten to draw these discussions to a close. I shall put it bluntly, I see no profit in this endeavor for myself and my men, so unless there is anything else...
What will you say? No profit? No profit? How sad that the great Carvalane should lose his nose for coin. You would put the Admiral and the Yellow Jackets in your debt. Why, it is the perfect opportunity to forge a deeper bond with Roswell. Wait, how many use this? I was gonna go with this. You would put the Admiral and the Yellow Jackets in your debt.
A debt of gratitude, perhaps, for providing the men and materials for this pageantry entirely at our own expense. I saw no mention of the Krakens being compensated for our efforts in a material sense. Or am I mistaken? The sheer scale of the spectacle we propose would no doubt draw all the lords and ladies of the realm to gather in the city, personages of high renown and deep pockets.
Aye, and if they saw you lot working hand in hand with the Maelstrom, it'd do wonders for your public image. Folks who normally wouldn't touch a pirate with a barge pole would be queuing up to do business with ye.
I do believe you have a point. Poorly phrased though it might be. To win legitimate business, one must project the image of legitimate businessmen.
Sod your image! And and sod anyone who's too lily-livered to trade with us. They can stick their barge poles up their backsides. What's in it for the sirens?
You won't consider them customers, consider them quarry. Don't you want to bring joy to the masses? Carvelane's in. Don't you want to be together? Wait, I love that consistently there's this option. Carvelane's in. Don't you want to be together?
What are you trying to imply? I'd rather cut me arse off with a rusty cutlass than have to spend another minute in that preening pissant's company. Me and my girls are proper pirates. The sanguine sirens ain't all about pirating life, though, are ye? You run almshouses for the sick and injured, and those with child. Keep himself busy with odd jobs such as come their way. Them's your hunters, and folk who are drawn to the city to see the grand display, your quarry. I see where you're going with this. Get the girls to set up stalls selling food and grog and the like, and they'd be making a killing, providing they'd add all the right permits from the Yellow Jackets. You're a shrewd one, you.
Maybe I could lend a hand myself. They do say the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. What of the executioners? There is no dishonor in the linking arms with Admiral Merwib and the Maelstrom, surely.
I like how far away he is.
You, Yellow Jacket, I want you to tell me one thing and tell it true. This is LIMSA LOMINSA, the great port in all the realm, the greatest port in all the realm. You could find this fleet of yours without our help, yet you've come here begging for it. Why?
Because I reckon you're the ones who need the rising most. The black sails only came together 'cause of Cartano. You could have upped anchor and sailed off into the sunset. But no, you fought like demons on those cursed flats. Made heroes of yourself and martyrs. The way I see it, it's only right that those that lost the most, when they stood to gain the least, should be the ones to fire the salute to the departed. And a salute to the departing, too. The calamity changed the lives of you pirates more than anyone. If anyone should be celebrating new beginnings, it's those whose new beginnings already begun.
Cute. That's actually really cute.
So it's all for our own good, is it? I'm heading back to the Astalicia. Send word when you've hammered out the details of this display of yours. We'll see what we can do.
Aye, aye, Captain. Can't rightly say no to you now, can I? We lost a lot of good people back in Cartano. Let's send them all off with a bloody great bang.
I will join you on one condition, that in your reminiscence of trauma past, do not make a shameful spectacle of yourself. Pray do not force me to restrain you. Again.
Excuse me? He restrained her? In what way?
I never forced you to do nothing. You keep your hands off me if you want to keep 'em, you randy bastard.
Quite the fragile flower, isn't she? Well then, I bid you adieu. My ship will not ready themselves.
He calls her a fragile flower.
My heart congratulates you both. It was my honor to play a supporting part, but it was your passion for the rising that swayed them.
And breathe. Gods, I was so nervous. I could hardly speak. Thanks so much for chipping in when you did. Could have never have gotten him on our side without ye. Right then, time to put the finishing touches to this plan of mine. It's going to be wonderful, I just know it. Oh, and about your reward, I'll give it to the minstrel. You can grab it from him. To new beginnings, lass, and may the navigator's breath ever fill your sails.
You did a great service, my friend, both for Lady Ayoyo and for all those who love the rising, myself included. For that I shall be ever grateful. I expect it shall be still some hours before preparations for the grand finale are complete. Mayhap we could wait together?
Yes.
While we wait, would you care to hear a verse that has lately come to me? It is a song of celebration, of encouragement. For all those who sail for unknown shores, pray, lend me your ear.
Ooh, we got sunrise? The echo, 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 echo. Are we gonna be on the ship? Oh? Ooh, look at that lighting. Zordia looks good. Greetings, warrior of light. Who's this? Yoshi-P? It's Yoshi-P!
This is a world that exists outside of your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps, or perhaps not. "'Tis a pleasure to meet you again, Yoshi-P! As I have in the past, I have beckoned you here, that I might express my gratitude. The road we have walked has been long and winding, full of perils and pitfalls, but we have enjoyed every step in your company. We hope that you feel the same about this last great leap. With every adventure we undertake, the longer the legacy we leave behind us. Yet a lengthy history need not mean a foreshortened future. Many adventures yet await."
Dude, the new graphics, yo!
"We shall continue to chart our course into the great unknown, one that takes in all the diverse wonders this wide world has to offer, that your legacy might grow ever greater. To be certain, it would be a less trying task to sleepwalk ever onward down the same well-furrowed path. Yet to venture down paths untrodden, believing in the bright and glorious future that lies beyond them, is by far the more rewarding. This is the gift that we wish to deliver unto you, the gift of adventure. Yes, adventure, the trail! And we pray with all our hearts that you will continue to walk with us. We thank you for joining us on this journey, heretofore and hereafter." Now the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. One cannot know what fills the heart and minds of those who look to the sky this rising night. Perhaps you and I will see very different images in those explosions of light and color. But one thing I know for certain, that right here, right now, we look to the same sky. And though the paths that lay ahead of us may lead in very different directions, sometime, someplace, they shall cross again. "'Tis almost time for the display to begin, the consummation not only of our labors, but of the thoughts and prayers of the people of this fair city. Salute for the departed, and for those who set sail into unknown waters. Many adventures yet await you, my friend. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails."
To all of my children. Ooh! Hey! From eastern sea to eastern sky, the sacred sun ascends. and voices stir of winds, of waves, of ropes, of sails, of friends, who like the golden light of dawn that streams across the sea, set sunlit sail for foreign lands, may fortune follow thee. That was a more complicated chord. Her journey done, so sinks the sun below the western waves. The memories stir of friends of yore, sleep in watery graves. Let not our voices raised in song disturb your endless sleep, but join us in our chorus and you dream among the deep.
An excerpt from an ancient mariner's song, a prayer for the safe return of those who sail o'er the far horizon, and for the peace of those who sleep beneath those same eternal waves. It concludes with a wish that the voices of those whose spirits are stirred in anticipation of the new adventure reach the ears of those whose adventures ended too soon, and they might be united as one, a fitting sentiment for the rising, methinks. And so I offer you my own heartfelt wish, that even should your adventures carry you beyond the far-flung horizon of this wide world, we should meet once more in a 12 months' time, and look up to the sky, the same sky, together.
Yeah, you get a really cute minion, Vegeta, when you do this quest. You did this quest, but you singing the song gave you all the feels. Ah, I'm glad you liked it. I made up the melody. No, Ulda forever, but it's in LIMSA, a pyro. Glad you made it for the fireworks. A soft westerly wind blows across the anchor yard. Enjoy the sea breeze a while. You hear footsteps approaching. You turn and see... Oh! An explorer and his baby Apollo! Wait! You have... Oh, there's a bunch! Oh, wait, we get to see him here! Derek!
If it ain't me old pal Zordia, there to beg the old bird for guidance too, are ye? Stojby said you had a hand in this year's fireworks, and not a bad job you made of 'em either. You met Stojby down in Hawker's Alley, eh? I sent her to pick up some stock for the wench, but you know what she brought me back? Only a bottle of bleeding Bacchus. Paid for it all out of her own pocket, she did, to thank me again for saving her life. Don't know why she's so hung up about it. The girl's paid me back 100 times over, with all her hard work over the years. Felt a bit bad accepting it, like, but well, a bottle of Bacchus is a bottle of Bacchus. Reckon it's you we should be thanking, anyway, for that marvelous display. All the ships in the harbor, the fire in the sky had brought back a lot of memories. Some good, some bad. But every one of 'em well worth remembering. And we ain't done making 'em yet. You'll be off on your next adventure soon enough, I wager. Well, you can't rightly be striding out on an empty stomach, now can ye? Come up to the wench and we'll fill your belly.
You turn and see the head chief of the Bismarck.
Well. I come to feel Limlane's breath on me face, only to find the faithless besom whispering in the ear of another. How have you been keeping, Zordia? I hear we got you to thank for the rising display. A yo-yo's been singing your praises from Fisherman's Bottom to the Coral Tower. What surprised I know her? Limsa's a small place, lass. Hardly a day goes by I don't see a yellow jacket or several in the Bismarck. Whether it's to sup on the finest food and wine this side of the ocean, or to clap the irons on those who've tapped the casks a touch too thirstily. Suppose an adventurer like you mightn't have noticed, always coming and going as ye are. But stick around in the city for a while and you'll see. The jackets ain't just axes for ire. They're true friends of the common folk. A yo-yo was a retainer before the calamity struck, you know. Her master had a thing for fireworks. Damn, the fireworks are done. Every time they came back from their wanderings, they'd load her down with 100 weights of spouts and spinners they'd picked up from God's nowhere. Day and night you'd see her down in the market ward, beaming that sunny smile of hers at every passerby, trying her damnedest to flog the stuff. Enjoyed the work, I reckon, but then Dalamud fell, and she lost her master, literally lost him. The way she tells it, 'twere as if the calamity burned an hole in her memory, and they fell straight through, couldn't remember their face nor their name. But she never forgot the fireworks, the amount of gunpowder that went through her hands over the years. She couldn't help learning a bit about making things go bang, an apprenticeship with the cannoneers later. She was a yellow jacket. So when I heard they were the ones who'd been put in charge of the Ryzen display, I knew she'd be the first to volunteer. The Ryzen, the fireworks, they mean a lot to her. And as a friend, they mean a lot to me, so thank you.
The Admiral herself. Hell yeah, we got time with Merle Wibb! And the music change, of course.
Zordia, this is a coincidence. Raynor was just telling me of the role you played in putting the display together. I'm sure all those who gathered in my city to witness it were as moved as I. I salute to all those who set sail for new adventures. It shall surely resound in their hearts, and give them strength and courage in the years to come. And a salute to the fallen too, was it not? Many and more lost their lives on the fields of Carteneau, the men and women of the Black Sails chief among them. I thank you for giving those who survived them this chance to put their grief to more productive ends. I thank you for giving the celebrations an unmistakable touch of salt, too. This year's rising was not merely in LIMSA LOMINSA, but of her. I look forward to seeing how future host cities follow our example.
Oh.
But for now, let us focus on the present. I'm sure I have kept you from your business for far too long already. I must return to mine and must offer my prayer to Lemon Lane, and be on my way. Fare you well, Zordia. I wish for your safe voyages for the years to come. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails.
Turn and see the acting captain of the Bloody Executioners. Hell yeah! Hey, Sicard!
If it isn't my old mate Zordia. I heard you had a hand in the fireworks, but I thought you'd be long gone by now. I'm glad you stuck around, though. Gives me a chance to thank you. For getting the executioners involved, like. Can't say you didn't run us ragged, getting the whole fleet loaded up with a 10 tons of fire sand and ready to sail at a moment's notice. But it was well worth it in the end. Aye, there's nothing a pirate enjoys more than a bit of old pyrotechnics. The perfect send-off for the shipmates past and present. Even got me in the guts, so it did. So, most risings I spent at the bottom of a flagon, thinking of those we lost and salting my grog. But this salute's only gone and put the wind in my sails. I'm up in the anchor tomorrow in search of an island sanctuary of me own, somewhere to bury me booty. Wish me luck, Zordia, and may Lemolane's breath ever blow at your back.
I thought that said blow you back.
Many and more have come from far afield to enjoy the festive atmosphere of LIMSA LOMINSA this rising. Now that your work is done, be sure to bask in it yourself.
Your footsteps approaching, and you turn and see an explorer and his baby Opa. Wait, I've been wanting this. I've been wanting to see him outside of the raid series on the music.
I knew it was you. Could tell it from your
I thought it was breathing. I'm like, you can tell by my breathing?
Could tell it from your bearing. Forgive me. It gladdens me that our paths should cross again, of course. And yet, I find myself somewhat lost for words.
Aw, this reunion!
Are you, well, what brings you here?
I made the fireworks that you see at night.
Is that so? I should have known it. It is very much like you to help others fulfill their dreams, to bring life and light to the world. I always liked festivals, as did all my brethren.
Cries.
Though the celebrations have taken divers forms over the years, all brought smiles to the faces of our children, and in turn us. Though it was our custom, nay our duty, to watch over you from the Phantom Realm, one among us was so drawn to the music and the merrymaking that he adopted a mortal form, that he might join you in your revelry.
Aw.
In every festival is imbued the hopes and dreams of mortal man. You implore the gods to listen to your pleas, and they hear you. They still do.
Till next, our paths should cross. Did it zoom in on that? Because that would have been his little minion appearance.
Ook! Ook! Ook!
Bye, Ashan! Bye, Derek! Bye, baby Opopo! I'm not gonna be emotional! Ah! I love that raid series. You thought it was Little Lane's? Oh, was it? Was she a burb? Yeah, no, I think it's Lim Lane's. Because people are talking about Lim Lane. Lim Lane's. You're right. Was she a seagull? Was her minion a seagull? I don't remember. We never saw those two in animal form. So maybe that is the hint. That would have been her minion. That would have been her animal form.